how I became an extinctionist. So, to start with, since my school days, I have been desperate about one thing, that is reducing suffering, helping victims, helping sentient beings who can feel pain. So, in order to do that, the first thing I got into was environmentalist activism. I thought climate change is causing a lot of suffering to sentient beings. The next thing I got into was animal rights activism. So, a lot of animals are being abused in farms and slaughterhouses for something that humans don't even need. So, these animals are in billions. So, I thought that number was really high and I have to do something about it. So, I got into it. So, you know what activism actually means? It means that you have to constantly keep bringing new ideas to the table, constantly keep working on strategies. You have to get things done, you have to get some results, otherwise your activism doesn't matter. So, I am in a constant state of brainstorming, right. So, while I was brainstorming, one day I just thought, why are these animals suffering, like really, right? Why do they have to suffer, right? Why are these people abusing that animals, and why am I doing activism to help them? The answer is simply they don't have to suffer, right? They don't have to suffer. They don't have to suffer, and I don't have to exist to help them. So, this led me to a series of thoughts. So, the first thing that came into my mind is that all of this suffering is pointless, right. So, these animals abused in farms, they don't have to exist. The animals suffering in forests, they don't have to exist. Starving children in Africa, they don't have to exist. All of the suffering that is going on in this world is pointless. So, the second thing that got into my head is kind of an analogy. So, a lion hunts a zebra, right. In this case, either the zebra suffers and dies, or the lion starves and dies, right. So, there is no villain here, right. It is the design itself, the design of our existence itself is in a way that sentient, conscious living beings have to suffer. Suffering is inevitable in this existence. That is what I thought, right. So, the next thing that comes into my head is non-existence. What if both the lion, the zebra, the starving people in Africa, the animals in farms, the abusers, me doing activism, what if we all don't exist, right. So, so I just thought about how non-existence would look like. So I thought, okay, when I am going to sleep and waking up in the morning and I am having a sound sleep, how would I define what I experienced in the middle? It is just nothing, right. So, there is no thoughts, there is no wants or desires, there is no pain, there is just nothing, no black, no white, nothing. So, I thought, instead of me suffering in this cruel reality, meaningless, cruel reality, isn't it better? Isn't non-existence better? Isn't me not existing? Isn't all sentient beings not existing in this meaningless world where they have to suffer inevitably? Isn't it better? I mean, what are we even doing here? Right? Then I thought of one thing. If I had a button in my hand, and if I press this button, all of this would disappear, the whole universe would disappear, right. So, the red button, I just thought of it. I thought I would press it, right? So there is no point in continuing this cycle. So I just wish, okay, it would be better if this whole universe just disappears, whole existence just vanishes. And then I thought about one thing. I am an activist. I don't wish for stuff, right? Activism means that you have to be active, working for something, and you should be the one to make it happen, right? So let's just say, I think animal testing needs to be stopped. It's really bad what animals are going through. They don't have to suffer cruel experiments because we need stuff. So the first thing I need to do is I need to convince more people that animals shouldn't be tested upon. They need to get this philosophy in their head, so that they would also start working against it, right? And then the philosophy grows and grows. Finally, somebody finds an alternative, right? If I am a scientist and I am not against animal testing, why would I work on an alternative for animal testing, right? It's as simple as that. So I thought I should fight for it. So I just kind of started my page. I started activism, right? So extinction is a huge task, right? Frankly, I was afraid to take up this thing. So I thought about one thing. How would the first activist of every social justice movement have felt? First activist who decided that slavery was wrong. Nobody would be there near him to support him, right? But he decided it. He decided he'll convince more people. He decided he'll take it forward. He decided it should happen, right? If he had thought about this, okay, this is a huge task, maybe it will take 5,000 more years, and he gave up, those injustices wouldn't have been stopped till today, right? So somebody has to start the work, somebody has to start working for it. So I started working for it, right? So you decide something is an injustice, something needs to be stopped, you work against it. The next question is how to get the work done. The next question is not can it be done. You have to. If all the other social justice movement they stood by it and fought for it radically, extinctionism is the ultimate movement, the movement that is going to solve each and every one of our problems, right? So we need to push extinctionism forward. There is no point in trying to solve suffering without extinction, because as I said, existence itself has been designed in a way that it does not allow sentient being existing without suffering. Please get this in your mind. You cannot. And we are enduring this suffering pointlessly, right? Optimism, existentialism, like existentialism is where you give meaning to life. These are some stuff you do because evolution program you to survive. That is not actually helping you. That is helping DNA replication, which is a meaningless chemical reaction. It's not helping you or sentient beings who are suffering like you. Right? So extinctionism is a movement. We extinctionists, we want people to realize that this suffering is unnecessary and it is totally pointless. So we want a solution, the solution, that is non-existence, as a solution to this suffering. So we are calling you to work for extinction of all sentient beings. Join the movement if you really care about stopping suffering, reducing suffering like I do.